Alright, so hey everybody. I have picture books here to show you today. I don't have very many at the moment. I have a lot of them on my wish list. A lot of times importing Zukan can be pretty expensive. The biggest one I have, let's start with the smaller ones first. I'll kind of show you what they are. So pretty much Zukan are picture books, or you can look up Ehon, but Ehon's more like children's picture books before they learn to read, so it's usually just an image and no words, usually. Those. Zukan. So you want to look Zukan up in the Japanese Amazon, and they'll give you a few options, and you can do like animals. Like here's a pretty good list actually. Oops, sorry. Here's a pretty good list of different kind of Zukan that this brand or this artist makes. You can see they have some that say like they have Sakana, of course. They have Konshu, which I have a Konshu one, but not from the same author, I suppose. They have Shokubutsu, which is like a vegetation and other living things. They have a Sui no Ikimono, which that must be a lot of other creatures that live in the water, because they have one for Sakana, specifically for fish, so that must be a little bit different. They have one for birds, and they have one for space and earth, and I think this one's like a gemstone one down here at the bottom. One for raising something. Okay, I don't know that one. One for dinosaurs. Kabutomushi. Kawagatamushi. It's weird that that's on a book by itself, and they have one for stars. This one might be kind of cool. I didn't see this one. Number 13. That one's like dangerous living things and just, general caution. That's what it says, I think. I'd be reading that wrong. I'm not sure what the 14 is, but that one sounds kind of interesting too. And they have Nonimono, which is like vehicles, such like that. One for our seasons. One for fruit and vegetables. This one here is number 17. So reptiles and amphibians. Ha-churui and Ryoseirui. So that is the reptiles and amphibians, I think is what they are. I should probably look it up, but I used to love looking at books like this when I was a kid. So whenever I went to the library, I would get the snake picture books just like this. I kind of like how they have a ruler on the back too. So like if you actually see these animals, you can probably measure them. It's kind of funny. Oh, and the ISBN number for this book. And pretty much what Zukan are. Picture books with information on whatever the Zukan is about. So like I said, this one's gonna have reptiles and amphibians in it. So you have, let's just show you. lot of the vocabulary in here you'll never use. So this is more of, I mean, you can use them to study, like I'm going to show you in one of my other Zukan, but these ones here are more just specialty type books. Vocabulary in here, you're not really probably going to use the names of any of these very often. And I have the Dolbutsu one from the same artist, the same author, Dolbutsu, and the ISBN number. Konchu, which I actually purchased at Book Off for $3. The ISBN number for it. Last Zukan I have, you guys have probably seen before. I think I had it in my last video or the video before it. Is a big Zukan, Seikatsu no Zukan. Here's the ISBN number, if it'll focus on it. Yeah. The big Zukan are hardback. The other ones, the little pocket ones, are just the little paperbacks, which, I mean, I much prefer the paperbacks, honestly, over this, because when are you ever going to read this but in your bedroom? Like, these you can take out with you, which is probably why they have, like, rulers and such on them, so you can take them outside. But these types of seikatsu, they have one specifically for, like this one, everyday living, and they have one specifically for, I've seen a Japanese one, which says Nihon no Zukan, and other, what are the other ones? I can't remember the other ones, but they have some that are really good for people learning the language, like this one, because everything in here you're going to need to know. I mean, the words for, like, you know, like microwave and, like, everyday living things are going to be in here, like washing clothes, cooking. There's a lot of cooking stuff in here, too. kind of dry my hair. It does remind me somewhat of Rosetta Stone because in Rosetta Stone, they pretty much just give you an image and then they give you a word in the language that you're trying to learn. So, such as if they give you a picture of a boy, it'll just say otoko no ko and then the picture. It doesn't give you a translation or anything. Nothing in the language that you already know, just the language that you're trying to learn. And it's kind of interesting, the way you memorize things is a little differently when you are looking at an image instead of the word, because it actually kind of really, it puts the image in your head instead of the word. So it makes it easier to grasp certain vocabulary and such when you actually see someone doing something versus reading about it. I mean, it's a lot different, you know. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me. And I've heard Rosetta Stone works. I mean, it doesn't really help me. I don't know how many of you guys have tried Rosetta Stone, but the only issue I have with Rosetta Stone, honestly, is the fact that it doesn't teach you the grammar. It doesn't break it down for you. You won't be able to really make your own sentences. It teaches you somewhat some vocabulary. It just throws you into it. But it's the same for every language. So I had studied German through Rosetta Stone and a little bit of Spanish when it was free from my job. And it's really repetitive. Oh my god, I do not want to learn Japanese through Rosetta Stone. I already decided that it's no good for me. It doesn't work for me. But it takes the same concept. Whereas if you use a Zukan, a picture book, it's pretty much teaching you the same thing. Once you know the vocabulary, once you know a lot of grammar or like sentence structures, then that's when I would get a Zukan. Or once you know how to read it, and you have to know some vocabulary, some sentence structuring, that's when I would get a Zukan, when you're starting to learn vocabulary. Because it really helps to kind of cement the word a little more into your head. And I'm going to start reading this one a lot more probably at night. There's a lot of kana in here because it's a kid's Zukan, but you know, it's not bad. And original price is like $30 for the big heavy ones. I bought this one used. I'm pretty sure it was under $10 though, because I wouldn't buy it if it was that much. Now, Zukan are not for everybody. It's like I said, a lot of them can be really specific in what they're showing you, teaching you, of course. And those ones may not help you very much, maybe later on, but there's a lot more specialty words in these books. But if you can find one that is general, like a general Zukan, one just that centers around Japan as a whole, or one on maybe like the seasons, like one that involves maybe the body or something, but it's going to teach you a lot of vocabulary you're not going to need to know, honestly. But I just got these ones more for fun. Now the bug one might come in handy, and the animal one, but like the reptiles and the amphibians, I mean, I just need the general name of what the animal is. But going into detail too much, people aren't going to understand what I'm saying, and I just kind of waste my energy on learning such specific words where I could learn, like, say, this book, words that I would need in everyday life would help a lot more. And I do have another Seikatsu book. I think you guys have seen. It's a Naze Doshite Seikatsu, and it works pretty well too. It teaches you a lot of things. I definitely recommend finding Seikatsu books. If you can find them, they're pretty hard to find. I mean, if you type in Seikatsu, it doesn't bring up like these types of books. It just brings up like kind of like children rearing books and such, and they can be kind of hard to find. Just kind of try to help. It'll help by sorting down the like. It helps to use the search engine or the little area on the side that really kind of narrows your search down. So you have to kind of use those. You might have to type in Seikatsu Kodomo or Seikatsu Zukan or, you know, Sekatsu, you know, something else with it, because it's kind of hard to find these types of books. There's a lot more I wanted to buy, but Zukan can get kind of expensive, especially the big ones. The small ones I've found for less than 10, so I purchased them, these two. So the other ones I have on my list, but I won't purchase them until they go down in price. So that is a few of the Zukan that I have. I might get some more someday, but we'll see. And like I said, they're a really good teaching device. It does remind me a little bit of Rosetta Stone and its way of sort of teaching, because just imagery and words, you know, it works too. But so that is pretty much it on what I have. Paketo. Oh yeah, see, it even says it at the top. This pocket Zukan Paketo. I just saw that. It's kind of funny. That is everything for the moment, I guess. So that's everything, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hey everybody. In this movie,